Shalom. Shalom. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah, Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles of Great Millstone, our elders of GMS. Salutation, peace, and blessings to the hopeful elect of the children of Israel. Okay, this is just examining the news, and all it's doing is just continue to show that our people just continue to be stuck on stupid, man. You know, here, this crash here is just a result of these rebellious ass, wicked ass sons of Israelite sons that are running rampant around the city, stealing the Kias, and I think it's just the Kias. I'm not sure if it's the Kias and Hyundais, and well, they stealing these cars and taking them on joyrides and tearing them up, driving like maniacs, man. These kids is literally monsters, terrorizing the streets, crash after crash after crash after crash. You know, it's just one after another, man. And then here you go. And this crash here, like I said, was after the deadly crash. Let me pause this madness here. Let me pause this bullshit here. It just happened to just start going.
Breaking news. Columbus police say two people were injured after a crash in I-71, rather.
Okay, and this was after this deadly crash here. And, you know, and these niggas had a nerve to put up a memorial for these demons. You can go out there now and there's balloons and goddamn teddy bears out for these. And these are young men.
Did you know you can receive free cell phone service? That's right. Thanks to the government's Affordable Connectivity Program, you can enjoy unlimited...
Slap it. A memorial. Crying, shedding tears, being interviewed, talking about they were good children. They were just got mixed in the wrong crowd. These people are crazy, man. You know, they were good kids. They just got mixed in the wrong crowd, you know, and this thing is continuing on and on, you know, and thank you, Esau. Thank you, Edom. This is all, you know, and as long as this devil continues to stay in the way, this madness like this is going to continue on. The madness like this, it's going to get worse, you know, and you want to talk about reaching this peak. This shit is going to continue on and on and on. You know, as long as Edom has his way, man, you know, and instead of executing the judgment which is written in the scriptures as far as dealing with a rebellious ass child, male and girls and boys, male and females, instead of dealing with it as far as the scripture goes, this devil, all he wants to do is just fill the goddamn prisons up. You know, and create other jobs for other Edomites to be the seers over these, to be it's like the word is escaping me. Just, the prison guard over these people. Just to create income for these goddamn devils in this world, man. You know, just to fill the prison systems up and to make an even bigger prison, an even worse criminal. You know. Besides being in the system and turn them into a goddamn sodomite. This madness just continuing on and on. Jeremiah 5. And fear ye not me, 5:22. Fear ye not me, said the Lord. Will ye not tremble at my presence, which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea by a perpetual decree that it cannot pass it? And though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet can they not prevail? Though they roar, yet can they not pass over it? But this people have a revolting and a rebellious heart. They are revolted and gone. And they had the nerve to put up a memorial for these fools, man. For what? You know? Jake don't know the meaning of getting angry, being angry, you know? Because Pastor Porkchop is telling them, to love them and to forgive them. You know, we must move on and run into Egypt for help. You know, all Egypt's going to do is just build another playground He's going to build another community center, a basketball court. This is a straight up joke, man. Again, Jake just going to run to Egypt for help. And, but these people have revolting and rebellious heart. They are revolted and gone. Neither say they in their heart, let us now fear the Lord, our power, that giveth rain, both the former and the latter. In his season, he reserved unto us the appointed weeks of the harvest. And that's the problem with these niggas. They don't fear the Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. They don't know the fear of the Lord, They don't know the fear of the Lord. That's the parents and the no good, rebellious ass children, Let me show you an example of fear of the Lord. And this is what Esau has done. Esau has taken the fear of the Lord out the equations in his world, So he comes up with his laws, with his laws pretty much encourage. Man, Jake's is encouraged. They're encouraged to be bigger criminals and better criminals. They're encouraged to be better, bigger, and bigger criminals in this world, man. Come on, let's be real. Every other nigga is just looking forward to being the next Nino Brown. The next Nino Brown or the next, what's that no good, sorry ass pimp nigga that's still being embraced by the tribes as a great man, Don, the pimp. Man, there's things like this is encouraged amongst Jake, man. It's encouraged because it's cool. It's cool. Everything is backwards and upside down. Evil is good. Good is evil. That's as far as that's what the scripture says, and that's what's been proven. That's what's been shown. Good is evil, and evil is good. People are gone, man. And again, this is what they're going to learn. They're going to learn the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And using this as an example, Pastor Porkchop's not saying it's the Lord that killed him. It's the Lord that's speaking to you, It's the Lord. You're supposed to raise your children in the way of the laws, man, the way of righteousness. You're supposed to raise upright children. Upright children. That are children that are upright. You teach your children to fear Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, or else they'll die, man. Because it's Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai who's behind these killings, these deaths that, as far as I'm concerned, is well deserved, because this shit has been going on long, man. This car theft thing has been going on now for, I think, if I'm not, I think it's heated up, especially the last year or so, but it's been going on the last couple of years. Just stealing cars, They ain't got nothing better. Come on, man. When we were teenagers, young adults, man, we were doing what, pretty much more constructive things, And we didn't spend all of our times running up and down basketball courts, but, we spent a whole lot of time staying fit, man, playing ball, Football every once in a while. We would get together, even as young adults, we would get together and play a little bit of football, But anyway, like I said, man, there's pretty much just a lot more you can do productively to spend your day than looking to steal that which isn't yours, A car thief. My youngest daughter, just 3 weeks ago, had her car stolen. She has an Kia. Lord knows what possessed her to buy the damn car. But nevertheless, it's her car, man. A Kia Hyundai. I can't remember what kind of car she has. It's the car the hot thing that they're stealing now. So anyway, again, Jake's going to learn to fear the Lord, and here's an example of fearing the Lord. This is the whole purpose of this, just to keep Israel, keeping evil up from amongst our people. Deuteronomy 28:18. I wonder why the churches don't read these scriptures, man. Of course, we can't apply it into this world because the wicked are bearing rule. The earth was given into the hands of the wicked, and currently the earth is still in the hands of the wicked, the so-called white man, the hands of the wicked. And as long as the wicked is still bearing rule, these things is going to continue on. It's just common sense. If a man have a stubborn and a rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father, and this isn't, this isn't unjust. This is just, man. That which will not obey the voice of his father. I had a older brother, man. He's in prison now. Child molester, drug dealing, rapist, sodomite. You know, and as far as back as I can remember, this piece of shit was constantly in trouble, man. He was constantly doing that which he shouldn't be doing, constantly. You know, he was foul to be around, just foul. He was foul. And I'm talking about as far as back as I can remember. I'm talking about when I was a child. As far as back as I can remember, this man was always a piece of shit, and he was never punished. And I'm tripping, like living amongst our household, as much as I got my ass lynched for nothing, literally for nothing. Oh, shit. You know, I was accustomed to, fearing that switch, fearing that extension cord. My mom and dad, they swung extension cords. You know, we go to school the next day with a road map on our ass, on our legs, our arms, or literally a road map after they're finished. A extension cord. Switches, just name it, man. You know, if a man have a stubborn and a rebellious son, my brother was a piece of shit, and like I said, I don't ever remember them been disciplining this fool. You know, it could be in my father's mind that shit, I ain't disciplining that child, nigga. He ain't mine. You know, I can imagine what's going through my father's mind. You know, and believe me, I'm totally feeling where my father's coming from, where he was coming from, and now that I'm older, I understand my father's mind and where he was now. When again, we thought my father was the bad guy growing up because we didn't know no damn better. Where this whole time, my mom was the monster, man, that was bringing the problems in the house, man. You know. But my father was probably like, that nigga probably ain't mine. I'm just, I'm just guessing what he may have been thinking. You never know. Because now we done found out, a lot of my so-called brothers and sisters, we all don't have the same dad. But growing up, we thought we did. You know, again, until we got older, and my sisters started talking. My mom always kept the girls with her on her missions, you know, but Lord knows what was going on, you know. Now, again, I can think back now and wonder why there was so much fighting between my parents, you know, constant fighting, man. You know, my dad was always unhappy, you know, so he needed his weed, he needed his cocaine. Yeah, I can imagine. I can feel where he's coming from, you know? So I know for a fact now that we all don't have the same father, you know? A lot of us. But who knows? My dad was probably like, he ain't mine, so I don't give a damn. It may have been the case. That may have been the case. He's no longer here to speak on it. You know, I probably would have never discussed it with him anyway, unless he would have brought it up, you know? But anyway. It says, which will not obey the voice. Well, anyway, this piece of shit is in prison now. You know, he's probably never going to see the streets again. You know, Lord, that's be honest with you, that's best for that type of individual, that type of piece of shit. Again, a child molester, man. And I'm talking about a child ages 3 and 4 years old. That type of madness, you know. So if these laws were in place, he would have been taken out long before that happened, because he was a tyrant before the child molestation took place. He was already a tyrant in the world in the late 80s. That's when the rapes, the molestation took place in the late 80s. But before then, he was already terrorizing the world, you know? So all that could have been avoided if the nations were, the tribes were following after the laws and statutes of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And this is an example here, you know? If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him will not hearken unto them, then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him out unto the elders of his city and unto the gate of his place. And you look at Jake now. Jake, your neighbor, and I'm speaking of Israelites, your neighbor, they don't give a damn. They find place to complain and talk shit, but they don't give a damn. In all reality, they don't give a damn, because they have the same family members and nieces and nephews and brothers and sons that are monsters as well, you know, and they don't say a goddamn thing to them. This is a curse amongst our people, man. This is a disease amongst our people. It's a cancer amongst our people. These monsters that are coming in this world, that are coming out from between these mysteries ass women, man. These mysteries ass, foul ass women. The scripture says that they bring forth monsters, man, and not just monsters, babies being born messed up with disabilities. Monsters, period. Just no monsters, man. Because really, a lot of these kids come in the world, man, they're mental. They're mental. It's a mental thing. They're mental. Something's in their head ain't right. You know? Mom and dad was dope heads, stoners. You know, now they're into these psychedelic drugs and mushrooms and on and on. Good God. Shoo. A destroyed people, man. A straight up destroyed people. So the elders, they can give it down. You see the elders constantly. I'm speaking of old men, Jake's men and women. They walk right past them, man. They don't take time to share. They don't have information or wisdom to share in the first place. So they continuing on, just walk by them and shake their head and talk shit behind their breath, you know. The same shit is just continuing on. There's no solution, you know, in Babylon. The solution to Babylon is lock them up. That's it. And they shall say unto the elders of the city, this is our son, is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is glutton and a drunkard. There were times I walked out the house and my brother was passed out, you know, right outside the car door while he's driving. Lord knows how he got back home. Lord knows. But he's passed out right outside the damn door. There are times, and I remember many a times, the house would be smelling like spoiled beer, rotten beer. You know, a binge. You drinking all night. You binging, drinking liquor and beer all night. It's coming out your pores, and the whole house would smell like it. And he's in the bedroom, just passed out. we were witnessing this thing on a daily basis, man, on a daily basis. But you never heard him being corrected. We would never hear him being corrected and put in his place. You know, never. It just continued on, and he continued on getting worse and worse, and he just literally turned into a monster, man. And it says, and all the men of the city shall stone him with stones, that he die. And this is what should be taking place with these rebellious ass kids, man. With these rebellious ass, with the rebellious ass sons of the tribes. They got to be put to death. But this is harsh, and this is an example of fearing the Lord, and this is what's required of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, is for his people to fear him. And it says, and all the men of the city shall stone him with stones, pick up bricks, man, and just knock the stars up out of his ass until he lose the spirit. that he die. So shalt thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. Look, and all Israel shall hear and fear. You see? And if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, and he be to be put to death, and thou hang him on a tree, his body shall not remain all night upon that tree. So there's laws, there's order amongst all this. You can see that. You can't just leave him up there until his body start rotting and decaying. And imagine that. That's Edom for you. When Edom was hanging the tribes, the so-called Negroes here in Babylon, they would just leave them up, man, and it would leave it up to the families, of the tribes to go take that body down. In most of the cases, his body shall not remain all night upon the tree, but thou shalt in any wise bury him that day. For he that is hanged is accursed of the Most High, that thy land be not defiled, which the Lord thy power have given thee for inheritance. And that's funny what's going on right now. This nigga in Columbus who he was working under falsehood. It was under deceit just to get paid. But he was claiming to be a funeral home owner, and he was taking dead bodies, and he was just stacking them up somewhere. He was just collecting the cheddar, and he's right now on trial for that. Let me see if I can find that. There's madness going on amongst our people. Madness. This man right here, this northern tribe, probably an Issacharite, west side of Columbus, raped the 10-year-old girl who got her pregnant. I don't believe that, he shouldn't have never been fooling with no damn 10-year-old girl in the first damn place. Out there, who knows the facts behind all this, but regardless, he should never been with that child in the first place. In the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, she was ready to get pregnant. She was ready to be married, but again, come on, let's be real here. I'm trying to find it though. He's on trial right now as we speak. He's taking a stand today. I don't see it. Like I said, this nigga he was just stacking the bodies up in the funeral hall basement. Just stacking the bodies up in I guess they would fill it up with the abominable fluid so they won't start decaying, and the stink will come up, But he wasn't burying the bodies at all. I don't see it. And it's actually big news right now. I should go to another site, but just showing you that Jake is just being rebellious on all levels. The Israelites, man, the Jakes, man, they're just being rebellious on all levels. So Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is about to take them out. It's about to take them out. This is the end of the road. This is the end of the road for you wicked niggas. And it feels good knowing it's coming. It feels good knowing it's coming, man. This is Psalm 78:8. That the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born, who shall rise and declare them to their children, that they might set their hope in the Most High, and not forget the works of the Most High, but keep his commandments, and might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation that set not their heart aright, and whose spirit was not steadfast with the Most High. The children of Ephraim, being armed and carrying bows, turned back in the day of battle. They kept not the covenant of the Most High, and refused to walk in his law, and begat his works and his wonders that he had showed them. Marvelous things did he in the sight of their fathers in the land of Egypt, in the field of Zoan. He divided the sea and caused them to pass through, and he made the waters to stand as an heap. And that's the thing, when I'm reading that, it reminded me that how Jake was witnessing again, it's mentioning the amazing wonders. Can you imagine witnessing that the sea, when Moses opened through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, opened the sea? Can you imagine witnessing that? Can you imagine even before that, the massive chariot that stopped the Egyptian from pursuing us? Just imagine witnessing all these things and still have the rebellion heart. Can you imagine that? And this is what we're dealing with these 2/3 niggas. You know, these same 2/3 niggas that don't have these miracles to witness, but they have a Bible, they have a church on every goddamn corner, every damn corner, you know, and they have this book to read. So the book's there to remind them of these great things. But remember, just imagine, they witnessed these great things, these same rebellious ass niggas, and they still revolted against Yahweh Shem Yahushua, against the order, you know? They still went and rebelled. This is what we're dealing with now, which, come on, which they don't witness these great wonders. Imagine how far gone they are now. In the daytime also, who led them with a cloud. That's the Spirit. I didn't even know that was even in there. And all the night with a light of fire, he clave the rocks in the wilderness and gave them drink as out of the great depths. He brought streams also out of the rock and caused waters to run down like rivers. And they sinned yet more against him by provoking the Most High in the wilderness. And they tempted the Most High in their hearts by asking meat for their lust. And the thing is now, these jakes that are being put to death now, and the big jakes that are going to get put to death, they already know about the men of the Lord. They already know that the prophets are out there. They already know that the lessons for them to learn and the warnings. They already seen the videos. They already seen all these things. So the Most High, again, is fed up with they shit. He's fed up with they shit. Yea, they spake against the Most High. They said, can the Most High furnish a table in the wilderness? Behold, he smote the rock, that the waters gushed out and the streams overflowed. Can he give bread also? Can he provide flesh for his people? Therefore the Lord heard this and was wroth. So a fire was kindled against Jacob, and anger also came up against Israel, because they believed not in the power and trusted not in his salvation. And this is what they're going to learn. They're going to learn firsthand the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. They're going to learn it, man. They're going to learn it. You know. Let me grab the scripture here. There's something about the scripture I just saw yesterday that just stuck in my mind. It just stuck in my mind. And this is from watching Apostle Gabar's video the other day. It just stuck in my mind. Hebrews 10:29. How much more sore punishment, suppose ye, shall he be thought worthy, who have trodden underfoot the sons of the Most High, and have counted the blood of the covenant wherewith he was sanctified, an unholy thing, and have done despite unto the Spirit of grace. For we know him that hath said, vengeance belongeth unto me, I will recompense, said the Lord. And again, the Lord shall judge his people. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, but call to remembrance the former days. That's what is stuck in my head. 10 and 30. For we know him that hath said, vengeance belongeth unto me, I will recompense, said the Lord. And again, the Lord shall judge his people. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, but call to remembrance the former days in which after ye were illuminated, ye endured a great fight of affliction, partly while ye were made a gazing stock, both by reproach and affliction, and partly while ye became companions of them that were so used. For ye had compassion of me in bonds, and took joy for the spoiling of your goods, knowing in yourself that ye have in heaven a better and an enduring substance. My point, let me get to my point though. 10:35, cast not away therefore your confidence, which hath 39 is what I want, with hath recompense of reward, for ye have need of patience, that after ye have done the will of the Most High, ye might receive the promise. For yet a little while, and he that shall come will come and will not tarry. And that's what we're praying for, man, for it to not tarry. Sooner the better, man. The vexing will stop. Being vexed by watching this madness or people being rebellious, man. It's vexing. Let's just keep it straight facts. It's vexing as hell, man. So it says, now the just shall live by faith. But if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. Those that fall right back into the world, and end up far worse of a demon they were before the truth. They end up far worse, and their punishment is going to be far worse for falling out and looking at the word of truth as it was nothing, as a trend, like it's some goddamn fashion trend. And don't think for a second these niggas that are stealing these cars don't know nothing about the truth, and may have commented on videos, commented while they were visiting a camp or whatever. Made a comment in their wicked ass minds when they seen a video or heard a video or just read a title of a video. May have had a wicked thought in their mind. That's a scripture that's a scripture. Curse not the king in thy mind, or something like that. Book of Ecclesiastes. And people ain't getting away with their wickedness, man. Again, he's tired of this madness, man. So verse 39, but we are not of them who draw back unto perdition, but of them that believe to the savings of the souls. Anyway. Shalom.